Welcome to Figures in History. Join us on a captivating journey through time as we uncover key facts about influential individuals who have shaped our world. In this episode, we will be discussing Thomas Sankara. Thomas Sankara, often hailed as the African Che Guevara, was a charismatic military captain who became the president of Burkina Faso, formerly Upper Volta, following a coup in 1983. He was only 33 years old at the time, making him one of the youngest leaders in the history of Africa. Sankara's revolutionary policies aimed at decolonizing the mindsets of his people and rejecting foreign aid that he believed came with strings attached, promoting self-reliance. His government changed the country's name from Upper Volta to Burkina Faso, which translates to Land of Upright Men, reflecting the ethos he wanted to instill in the nation. A fervent proponent of women's rights, Thomas Sankara was ahead of his time in recognizing the pivotal role of women in society and actively worked to outlaw practices such as forced marriages, polygamy, and female genital mutilation. He appointed women to high governmental positions and encouraged them to work outside the home and serve in the military. His policies were groundbreaking in a region where traditional gender roles were deeply ingrained, and he remains an icon for gender equality advocates in Africa and beyond. Sankara's economic policies were radical and centered on anti-imperialism. He nationalized land and mineral wealth, redistributing it from the hands of corrupt officials and tribal leaders to the peasants to ensure that the profits could benefit the many rather than the few. He also launched ambitious projects for self-sufficiency, such as the railway construction without foreign aid and a nationwide literacy campaign, which significantly reduced the illiteracy rate in Burkina Faso. Environmental protection was a key aspect of Sankara's vision for Burkina Faso. He understood the devastating effects of desertification and launched a massive reforestation program, which aimed to plant over 10 million trees to combat the encroaching Sahara Desert. His policies were visionary, considering the global conversations on climate change today, and showcased his understanding of sustainable development and ecological balance. Thomas Sankara was an avid musician and guitarist, and he used music as a tool for cultural and political expression. He composed the national anthem of Burkina Faso himself and often played his guitar at official events and meetings. His love for music was part of a broader cultural revolution that promoted traditional Burkinabe culture and discouraged the influence of the West. He even went so far as to require public servants to wear traditional tunics, woven from Burkinabe cotton and sewn by Burkinabe craftsmen. Under Sankara's leadership, Burkina Faso made significant strides in health care. His government vaccinated 2.5 million children against meningitis, yellow fever, and measles in a matter of weeks, which was recognized by international organizations as one of the most successful public health campaigns in Africa. Sankara's approach to healthcare was proactive and community-oriented, with a focus on preventive care and public health education. Thomas Sankara's foreign policy was marked by a non-aligned stance, refusing to be drawn into Cold War geopolitics. He criticized both the American and Soviet models, seeking a third way for Burkina Faso. He built relationships with other revolutionary leaders and movements, such as Fidel Castro of Cuba and Jerry Rawlings of Ghana, and supported anti-apartheid struggles in South Africa, reflecting his Pan-Africanist ideology and his vision of solidarity among oppressed peoples worldwide. Sankara's anti-corruption efforts were rigorous and uncompromising. He slashed the salaries of government officials, including his own, and sold off the government fleet of Mercedes cars, replacing them with the more modest Renault 5, which was the cheapest car in Burkina Faso at the time. He also forbade the use of government chauffeurs and first-class airline tickets, setting an example of austerity and accountability. Despite his revolutionary policies and growing popularity, Thomas Sankara's tenure was cut short when he was assassinated on October 15, 1987, during a coup led by his close friend and colleague Blaise Compaoré. Sankara's death was a tragic end to a leader who had a vision of a transformed and self-sufficient Burkina Faso. The circumstances surrounding his assassination remain a topic of controversy and speculation, with many believing that his radical policies threatened both internal and external interests. Thomas Sankara's legacy continues to inspire people across Africa and the world. He is remembered as a symbol of incorruptibility and self-determination, and his policies and vision have been studied by activists, scholars, and leaders. In the years following his death, a growing movement has called for a proper investigation into his assassination and for his principles to be revisited as a model for African development. His life and work have been commemorated in various forms, including documentaries, books, and songs, cementing his status as a revolutionary icon. Thank you for joining us on this incredible journey through this figure's fascinating life. If you're passionate about history, don't forget to subscribe to Figures in History for more captivating stories of influential figures from the past. Leave a comment below and let us know which historical figure you'd like to see in future episodes. Your suggestions matter, and together, we can continue exploring the amazing figures that shaped our world. Keep exploring, learning, and shaping a brighter future through understanding the past.